SATAL, Students Assessing Teaching and Learning.
SATAL is a program that's offered to professors and TAs and even other programs on campus to help assess their program and to see what things can be changed, improved, or just if they want to get students' feedback.
It's more relatable for a student to talk to another student or give their feedback to a student when they're having trouble or don't necessarily feel comfortable telling a professor that the professor's not doing well or how they'd like to be taught.
It is very important that the students see their peers assessing them, not because they're going to be more honest with their peers and they're not going to feel threatened in that environment.
We do classroom interviews. We also do focus group sessions. We also provide videotaping sessions. And we also do classroom observations, entry and exit interviews. We proctor evaluations.
Again, it's another dimension of engaging the students in kind of the greater aspect of the curriculum and the program at the individual instructor level. And I think just asking students what they feel about this and their classroom experience and what do you think? They're basically directly asking students, what do you think about this sort of thing, instead of you're a passive agent just sitting there taking what comes to you. You're actually having an engaged involvement in the entire process.
They're really focusing on assessment, and assessment really is a key, whether it's in the classroom with specific learning outcomes or whether it's with services.
Just using test scores gives a very limited picture of how students are performing. Just looking at homework scores, even though it's a different environment, test taking versus, at home. But hearing what students say, not just anecdotally, but getting their input on a specific question.
Being a mathematician and looking at assessing program and evaluating how well we're doing, we're naturally drawn to the numbers and the quantitative type of data that we can collect, passing rates, grades, looking at homework scores. These sorts of things are very easy for us to kind of sit and evaluate and understand. For us, the thing that was challenging, especially during the program review, was kind of obtaining qualitative data, student feedback. How do we evaluate that? How do we put this together? And so for us, it was an incredibly important part of our program review that SATAL was able to provide for us this kind of qualitative data and help us organize it, understand how to interpret what it was, and then how to incorporate it with the kind of the quantitative data that we had been collecting.
It's one more way to evaluate my work, and the more details I have, I know the better job I do, and SATAL certainly provided this.
I've learned to be more responsive to my students, communicate more clearly my expectations so that they understand the responsibility that I'm expecting them to take in their education.
I think that that is a lever to get students engaged in the classroom, which then can feed into their learning experience. And so I think that that's a particularly exciting opportunity and a way to engage our students and to increase their overall learning experience as they go through their academic experience here.
I think the SATAL services are really important to students even beyond the classroom and the assessment of learning outcomes. As the library, we were able to use their services to assess some of the things that we're doing or that we're even thinking about doing and get their opinion and feedback. Many people, whether from the academic side or more of the social student services side, are both very concerned about how they can contribute to make the learning experience really positive and effective for students. And they know that that isn't strictly just an academic endeavor, but that the social aspect of it and the services that the university provides are also really integral and necessary for that. So assessing those services is also, I think, key and important.
I've been very, very satisfied, absolutely satisfied.